Hi, it's Kevin Ayres here with another tip on how to improve your church's communication. In the following videos, I'm going to be looking at how to improve your email communication. But in this first video, I just want to talk a little bit about email itself. Email is perhaps not as fashionable as it was, but most of us still get an awful lot of email. And because it's not very fashionable, actually, it turns out that email is still quite effective because a lot of people have stopped using it. So actually, it means that there's a bit of room for you as a church, both with internal communication and external as part of your evangelism strategy to use it, but you've got to use it right. And what I mean by that is that to some extent email is a numbers game. You need a big database of people to send email out to, and a time game. So if you're using email for internal communication, like your church newsletter, that's fine. It obviously doesn't matter how many people, it might be 5 people, and if you're communicating with them, that's all right, there's 5 people. But if you are trying to communicate as part of an evangelism strategy, you need to be getting your email out to a large number of people. And that could be through a number of different ways, different interactions that people have had over time with your church, filling out welcome cards and so on. And you need to be sending them out regularly, something that is relevant to them. Now, it might not be relevant to them this time, but on the 19th email, they might be feeling a bit down, or something might have happened in their life, and your email just shows up at just the right time. And they think, actually, I will come along to that event. But if you're not sending them an email regularly, you won't be top of mind. The Holy Spirit won't be able to take that email and apply it to them. And so why don't you go back to that church and try that church out again? I think it might do you good because you haven't sent them an email. Not recently, anyway. So it's really important that if you're going to do that as a strategy, you keep sending email. You don't just send the one welcome email and say, thanks for coming along. It's really nice to see you. Here's some general information about us. Hope to see you next week. That's all right, but it's not really good enough. And neither is it good enough to just send them the church newsletter, which is primarily focused at members of the church. There's lots of stuff on there that's not really relevant to people who haven't yet decided that they want to come to your church. So sending them something like church newsletter isn't really going to, drive them wild to open it up and to take action. So consider regularly sending people email, and we're going to look at how you get them to open the email and take action in the following videos. Now, I can say this with quite a lot of conviction that this does work because I frankly make my living out of doing this. I send out several thousand emails every week, and some people come back and say, don't want to be on your list anymore. That's fine. And I get a number of emails each week saying, oh yeah, we really need a video from you. We've got this big bid coming up, and we need some help. Now, probably there's only 1 week out of the year that any one of those people will need my service. This is in my business capacity. And so if I only sent out one email to them all, there's very little chance that I would keep getting people coming back. But because I keep sending out emails each week, there's a number of people for whom this week is the right week for them to hear the message that I'm sharing. And it's the same with your audience in your town. There are going to be people each week who are going to think, oh, actually, it is the right time for me to go along to church, or that, the Holy Spirit prompts them, and you've sent them something to come along to this, that, or the other. It's just the right thing. Or maybe you're just drip feeding them, a commentary about the news, or what your church is doing, or something like that. But you're staying in contact. You're staying top of mind. So that's my tip for this week. Just keep going. You've got to be consistent. It's a numbers and time game.